such a time as this.
And welcome back to For Such a Time as This, the place where there is no such thing as a silent witness. I continue to be amazed at the people who call themselves believers, who call upon the name of Jesus Christ, and truth continues to be something that eludes them. Truth is something you can take or leave with some of them. Truth is not a high priority on their list, and it keeps amazing me. I get it. The world is crazy. The world doesn't care about truth, but those who are in the church, the visible church, those things that clearly are not true doesn't seem to bother them. I'm going to keep doing this. This is going to be a continual theme, seems like, at For Such a Time as This. I got to keep reminding people how important truth is to a believer. When Pilate stood before the Christ, Pilate said to him, "So you are a king?" Jesus answered, "You say that I am a king. For this purpose I was born, and for this purpose I have come into the world, to bear witness to the truth. Here it is. Everyone who is of the truth, everyone who is of the truth listens to my voice." Pilate says to him, "What is truth?" And Pilate turns and he walks away without having given Jesus a chance to explain to him what is truth, because Pilate didn't care about the truth. And if you are a believer, you better not be like Pilate. You better care what truth is. When it comes to the narrative that CNN, MSNBC, and the other news networks, and to some extent Fox, the narrative that keeps being played over and over and over again, keeps being pushed over and over and over again, is that the greatest challenge of the black community is that police are killing our black and brown children. I hear it over and over and over again. And I ran across a news story. Bob Woodson was on the Tucker Carlson show. I wanted to put up his page. It will be in the description, the Woodson Center. Bob Woodson, look at this, transforming lives, schools in troubled neighborhoods from the inside out by involving those suffering the problem, empowering local leaders to identify capacities of residents and help them to achieve their potential. Has a beautiful black woman with a black child, I'm going to assume is her daughter, on this website. So this is Bob Woodson's, this is the face of his website as he heads the Woodson Center. I say that to say this because what you're going to see on the clip deals directly with the problems of the inner city. This is what this man does. This is who he is. And when Tucker Carlson had him on his show, he was talking about those things that plague the black community. And is it true that the greatest thing that faces the black community, police violence, is that true? And as a Christian, you should always ask the question, is it true? Let Bob Woodson deal with this.
Well, that's the point, Tucker. But also, they fail to answer this question. If the problems facing, for instance, the inner city blacks are are, can they be solved by addressing institutional racism? And if so, what is the strategy for ending institutional racism? And what is the relationship of that remedy to the problems facing inner city blacks? We have a mother of an 8-year-old who was killed by a young black man, and a Black Lives Matter representative came to her and told her she must really quiet down and not raise this issue because it takes Black Lives Matter off message. It deflects attention away from their message. And their message is blacks being killed by the police, even though only 14 blacks were unarmed blacks were killed by police in the course of 1 year. And for every one of those blacks killed, 270 blacks were killed by other blacks. And yet Black Lives Matter is going to convince us that the biggest challenge that we face are the police killing blacks. So again, as I said, if fact-based truths are discounted, then lies become normal. And that's what's happening in our society today. Lies are becoming normal. And that's dangerous for all of us.
It is.
Is it true? Is it true that the greatest problem the black community has is the unarmed killing from the police? Let me hold on. Let me take out a calculator. Bob Woodson said it. I didn't say it. For every unarmed black person killed by the police, he says there's 270 black people killed by other blacks. Let me get out this calculator. That means, let's see, if for every one person killed by the police, unarmed person killed by the police, let's see, so that's one for 270. 270 times 14, he said, black on black crime. That's 3,708. 3,780 people last year killed by other blacks, 14 by police. Let's see, 3,780, 14. Seems like there's a bigger problem than police killing black folks. It's black on black crime. I didn't say it. Uncle Bob did. He said it. There's a narrative that's being spun. And every black life that is lost because a policeman shot him, justified or unjustified, it's sad because that life, especially committing a crime, assuming they didn't know the Lord, that life, 14 unarmed black people are now had to go before the Lord and account for their sins. Those 14 lives mattered, and it's sad. But don't you dare tell me that the 3,780 or whatever that number was, that they don't matter. That the gang banging doesn't matter. Come on, people. Let me be more specific. Come on, black people. Don't buy into this foolishness. All black lives matter. And not just the ones killed by police. And if you want to talk about the bigger problem, truth matters. So much so you have a representative from the Black Lives Matters go to a grieving mother and tell her to shut up. You messing up the narrative. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. They should have had something for the Black Lives Matter person that came. I wish you would have come into my cousin's house with that and told her to shut up. I would have. Well, let me stop. But people, if you're a believer, truth matters. Truth matters. And once again, I yield. You should know that for such a time as this, I yield for one man. I only let one man other than me have the last word, and he is the greatest. And so I will let him have the last word again. People, truth, truth.
For such a time as this,